Hi all, I'm going to walk you through a See, Think, Wonder, and we're going to start by reading through the dilemma. So I'm using our dilemma called Marketing Misrepresentation. It reads, Martha lives with her boyfriend Cameron in a small one-bedroom apartment. After Martha's hours were cut due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Cameron, who works in marketing for hospice care, agreed to take on more hours at his job to supplement his income. One day, while Cameron was working from home, Martha overheard him tell a prospective client's family that he was a doctor. Martha knows full well that Cameron is not a doctor at all, and she was surprised to hear him misrepresent himself in this way. Martha confronted Cameron after the call, and he said he was just doing his job and getting a new patient to sign up for services. Martha feels conflicted. On one hand, she knows that Cameron is doing his best to be good at his job, and part of his job is to convince more people to sign up for hospice care. Cameron's success at work is more important than ever because his hard work is making up for the pay cut she suffered earlier in the year. On the other hand, she can't help but be seriously bothered by the fact that Cameron has pretended to be a doctor to get new patients. So what do I see? What are the facts or knowns in this situation? So we're going to talk first about what I see, then what I think about this dilemma, and then what I wonder. And it's trying to get me to think a little bit more about the aspects of this dilemma. So sometimes people think you can only do see with artifacts or images or things like that. But really when we're talking about see, it's just trying to get us to just think about the facts or the actual knowns that are in the dilemma, not about what we think about those things. So first, what do I see in this dilemma? I see that there is two people, Martha and Cameron, and Martha has lost her hours at her job, and Cameron works for hospice, and his job helps make up income at their, for the family. That's something that we learned. We know that Cameron misrepresented himself as a doctor to gain clients. We know that Cameron needs to bring clients in for his job. Like that's part of his job is to get clients on board for hospice care. We know Martha confronted Cameron about his lies already. We know Martha and Cameron live together. That was said at the very beginning. I think some of those are probably some of the key elements I would pull out as a C. These are just the facts of the dilemma. These are the facts that we really need to know to continue on with thinking about this dilemma. Like if you were going to tell someone else the key elements of this dilemma, what would you tell them are the key elements? That's sort of how I think about C. But now, what do I think about those facts? What does that make me think about in terms of maybe what Martha should do? What would I do in this situation? What's my opinion about this? That's where we're getting into the think. So maybe I think, maybe Martha needs to tell an ethics board. That's one thing she could potentially do. One thing we could do is talk about maybe Martha needs to move out. That's another thing we could think about. Maybe Martha needs to get a new job. So there's less pressure on Cameron to bring in clients. Maybe that's something that could happen in this situation. Maybe they need to have another discussion. And maybe it could be with a therapist or a mediator or someone like that, someone who could help them really discuss what Martha's concerns are. So these are some of things that I think about this situation. What's a possible solution? Maybe something I would do if I were in this situation. So now we're really moving from the facts of the case to our opinions about the case. But now what about wonder? Maybe there's some things we wish we knew about the situation so we could make an even more informed decision about what we would do. Or maybe we just really have unanswered questions. So, for example, I might wonder, like, how hard is it for Martha to get a new job where they live? I might want to know more about the conversation they had when Martha confronted him. I might want to know more about the hospice industry. I've only read a little bit about it. Like, why is it so important that Cameron bring in clients? You know, what else? Let's see. I might want to know if this is against the law. Is this against the law? Is this against the ethics of the hospice profession? You know, if he got reported, would he lose his job? Would he go to jail? I might want more clarity around that. So these are some of the things I might write into a wonder. So this is how I would, I might talk this through with my students, something like this, give them some examples about these are the things I see, these are the things I think, these are the things I wonder. And then they can go and do this similarly with their own dilemma. So I hope this gives you some ideas when you're doing your own See, Think, Wonder in the classroom. And of course, we hope you have fun. Thanks so much.